I'd like to welcome everyone to the conversation where we talk about everything Cowboys. My favorite team, your favorite team, America's team. Here with your host, Coach Marv.
Cowboy Nation, how are you doing? Didn't come in here for to step in here for a brief moment or two. Um, we always come out. We always come in here when there is a loss, and we come in and we have our head down, and I know the season is over. Well, playoffs is no out the question. We out of the playoff race, but the season is not over, and I like the grit that our team showed. I like the attitude of going out trying to get a victory. Looked like we played hard. Um, I got a chance to see some of the game on the back end of the first half. I saw the first half. Kind of went back and reviewed some of the second half before I came on here. Probably would look at it a little bit more extensively uh, with the all 22 when it comes out. But I just want to say, briefly from the eye point of view, good victory. I mean, anytime we can win in the NFL is a good victory. It's not like we wanted to do. We still show some inconsistencies with it's a couple of things that I didn't like about the game, and that started the first half and the second half that I didn't like about the game that I pointed out. Um, I hope y'all did see one thing in this game, and I don't know if nobody really looked at it or they may try to look at this. The secondary tackle is still horrible. um, there was two plays in that game that they got touchdowns on. That one they didn't block our safety. Uh, the second the long touchdown run they didn't even block the corner. They ain't block Revel on the play side, and you can't miss that tackle. You cannot that tackle cannot go untouched. There's no way that tackle can go untouched. And this is not no disclaimer on Rebel. It's based off what I. If you watch my last video, I talked about when I think Boss Cowboy had put a clip about that sweep that they ran at Rebel and talking about how tough it is for them when they're coming at Rebel. And I said it was tough on Rebel, but he saw the crackdown in the last game. He saw the crackdown, but he didn't come up, and he waited for the guy to get out there and the offensive lineman to get up on top of him. And when you wait and not react, it's a done deal. Well, today on that long run by the Washington team, they ran out that way. There was nobody to block him. There was no outside contain. Only thing he had to do is react and come up hard, and he would shut that play down for like 67 yards if it would got that much. But he hesitated and wait, and the guy get up on him and run right by him. Then in the goal line situation, they run a play with Malik Hooker and standing right in the hole, 101, and don't even slow the guy down. They ran Debo on the outside, like I told you they're gonna do, and they were gonna test to see if we gonna get off blocks and we were willing to tackle. And I have said that before. If we just tackle better in the back end and be a little more physical and a little bit more athletic and a little bit more aggressive with our tackles, a lot of these big plays, we can kill some of these big plays. But we don't. We just is not, and I blame Eberflus for that and his secondary people because they didn't make that a they didn't make that a must. They talked about it, But when they let Rebel go out there, and when they let Elam go out there for so long, you destroyed that type of mentality out there, and teams are still attacking it. Um, as we get out to the quarterback, we good people still throwing short passes, and we're not punishing guys when we come up to tackle, and that hurts us. And I don't know if people see it like I see it. Um, Schottenheimer mentioned it last week. I don't know if people remember why him mentioning it last week after halftime. He said we got to tackle better. I'm quite sure it's been talked about. I'm quite sure that has been talked about. Are we gonna tackle better? I'm quite sure it has been a subject of conversation about are we gonna tackle better in the secondary. Uh, the second thing that I want to talk about that really that really disturbed me, and this is gonna go at Schottenheimer and his play calling. Schottenheimer is making this game hard for Dak Prescott. Now I know some people gonna get on me a case with this, but he's making the game hard. And you said, well, coach, what you mean by making the game hard? He's making the game hard by us getting in these fourth down plays all the time and forcing Dak to make a play after play after play after play to keep drives going. Because the only thing he got to do is run the ball on first down. And making an emphasis on first down that we're going to run the ball and get 3 to 4 to 5 yards on first down. And then he sets the tone for Dak to make all kind of plays and the game easier for him at second down and 6 or second down and 5. But running these pass patterns that's very vanilla pass patterns, fake and bootleg, where you don't have no options to throw the ball, and Dak holding the football and trying to fit the ball in tight windows or throwing incompletions on first down is killing this offense. Now, people gonna say, well, coach, you being Debbie down and we scored 30. This could have been an easy 30, 35, 40-point game. Our zest to try to throw the ball on first down all the time is starting to hurt us. I have no problem when you're gonna throw the ball on first down. People say, "Well, no, I'm not no 3 yards in a dust kind of coach." No, I know on first down you must get positive yards, and every time we throw the ball on first down, we get an incompletion. It we struggle to get a first down, and the offense struggles, or it comes down to a third and long or a third and a fourth down play. But every time we get positive yards on first down and stay ahead of the sticks, we but we got to listen. The rule, and Schottenheimer knows this rule. Now I'm going to teach y'all something now. I want y'all to listen to me. There's a rule about throwing the ball on first down because first down is your major down of staying in front of the sticks. And what I mean about that is if you get 3 to 4 yards on first down, we are ahead of the sticks because if you get 3 to 3.5 to 4 yards, 3 plays at 3.5, 4 yards is a first down. So if you get enough plays to make 2/3, 1/3 of the first down, you're ahead of the sticks. If you get more than a third, you're ahead of the sticks. That's what being ahead of the sticks is. Incompletions, negative yards, penalties, no gain, that puts you behind the sticks. When you get behind the sticks, who has the advantage? The defensive coordinator has the advantage. When it's first down, the offense got the advantage, always, because they got 3 downs. You at their beck and call because They're 3 downs. They got 2 more downs after this down to get a first down. So you got the advantage. They got to try to stop you on that first down. If you get 3 to 4 yards on first down, you keep the advantage because your playbook gets open to everything. Their defensive playbook has to be open to everything. So when their defensive playbook has to be open to everything, and your offensive playbook is open to everything, the offense is in control. But when you have a negative play on first down, or you have a penalty, or you get a negative play, or you throw an incompletion, now your playbook gets limited because now you got to make up for the yards you made on the first down, and you got to get at least 7 to 8 to make up for what you did get on first down. And who's in control now? The defense is in control because now they know that they got you behind the sticks. First down is the most important down on offense. I know people talking about third down, but if it's third down and long, every week, every play, third and 6, third and 7, third and more than 6 and 7, you're not going to have good third down conversions. The defense is really going to control the game. And you're putting too much pressure on your quarterback to make play after play after play. Let me give you an example of what happened in the first half. We're running the ball up the middle on Washington at will. And every time we run the ball on at will, we come back to first down and go to some bootleg pass or some pass and throw an incompletion. Then we throw incompletion. Then we come back and run the ball on second down and get 6 yards or 5 yards. Okay, we get 5 yards. We still behind the sticks. If we get the 5 yards on first down, don't you know now we got them under so much pressure we can beat. What? Why are we trying to force the pass on first down? Schottenheimer knows this. He's been coaching long enough. He's been coaching longer than I've been coaching. But I learned this rule a long time ago. If you're going to throw the ball on first down, you got to complete 85% of those passes. Let me say that again. If you're going to throw the ball on first down, you got to be 85% of the passes. If it's not a pass that you're going to complete down the field, your quarterback knows that he needs to hit the check down where he knows he can get a completion that's going to get 3 to 5 yards. Because you can't waste the play by trying to throw the ball and get an incompletion. And time again, we go throw the ball on first down and get an incompletion. And time again, we put ourselves behind the sticks. If we would have stayed in front of the sticks, we could have scored 40 points in the first half. Or we may have not scored, listen, we may have still scored 27 in the first, 24 in the first half. But staying in front of the sticks, we would have took up all the time possession, and Washington would have had no chance of scoring. If we did two things, if we would have controlled the ball, stayed on the head of the sticks, we could have got at least 3 or 4 minutes more off the clock. 2, if we tackle on the back end, they don't get no big plays. Just tackle, baby. Just be aggressive and tackle. And if y'all been, I know I've been on the live show in a while because I've been doing things and I enjoy it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad I didn't go on live today because I enjoyed my family. I had some family members that were been very, very sick this past year and possibly couldn't even be here. And it was a wonderful occasion to go and have a good time with them. But you getting this thing if we could tackle on the back end. And how many times I've been saying on Boss Cowboys show on their live stream, I said, just get a little more physical on the back end. Let's try that part and see how it works. And I'm going to keep saying that. Get physical on the back end. Give me some safeties that are stone cold hitters. And if you run the ball down the seam, and they got in the breaded in the cornerbacks. If you run the ball my way and you don't block me, I'm gonna make the tackle. But there was 2, 3 plays in this game. They decided no, he blocked one of the guys. And then it was so many times on the outside, we allowing people to block us. Now listen, I don't believe Revel is a soft corner. I don't believe Revel's a soft corner. I believe he's watched us put soft corners out there, and he has watched us allow corners not to make tackles. So he's just doing what he saw. See, I'll say it again, and like I said it 1,000 times. I said the Chicago game when we let that guy run that Swift ran that screen pass, and I said it on Twitter. When we let the screen pass go, and I watched where guys looked like they were looking for somebody else to make the tackle. I said then, there's a cancer in that back end. Now, I don't know if it was a player or it was a coach, but it's a cancer back there. And the cancer, what I'm saying is a person that's allowing non-aggressive play, a person that's not out there saying we need to, no receiver should ever block us. There's a person need to be said out there that if that comes your way, we need you to attack it, and make the tackle where the guy is going backwards, not dragging you down the field or you waiting to get for it to come to you. I said that. I kept saying it, and I kept saying it. No, that's not Burry's part. Look at the play. They don't even block Revel. Revel is the corner on that side. See, that's what I'm seeing. Wait, we don't even know what we. Revel is the corner on that side. They don't even block him. What is he looking at? He comes down. He's free. He doesn't even touch the guy. Only thing he got to do is come down. They block. There's nobody at him. There's nobody outside him. He's not coming up to play run support. Only thing he got to do is run up and make the tackle. And his slow reaction, the guy run right by him. This is the same thing be happening all year. I don't know why y'all don't see this. We want to blame linebackers when we got guys on the outside in the alley that they're not even blocking, and the guy run by him. How did that happen? And know how it's happened? This is not a testament on Revel. This is what we've been allowing to happen with Elam, sometimes with Diggs, sometimes with Bland. Number Reddy, same thing with Reddy, same thing with Hooker. The first run for the did y'all watch the run inside the goal line where the guy goes up and Hooker is the only sitting right there, and the guy run through Hooker like he wasn't even tackling? Donovan Wilson comes on a blitz and run right by the guy. I've said this before, man. I'm a little bit Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. And it's a good Christmas because we won. But I'm still pointing out and I'm not gonna give up on that because this has to be somewhere has to address this. There's no way in no coaching staff that's watching this. Murray ain't got nothing to do with that, Jake. Listen. They Murray trying to slide across. You got a cornerback that sit inside. Nobody blocking him. Any other team, that's a stuffed play within 6 yards. He has no outside containment. The receiver that's in front of him went inside. So what keys is he reading? What is he waiting for? Go back and look at it, buddy. When you go back and look at it, you would say, Well, dog, coach was so up. What does he look? What he waiting on? And this happened all the time, man. When you running something from outside in, if you don't block the corner and he don't squeeze it, what? Okay, we say Murray was flat-footed because he got blocked by the offensive lineman. Okay. Well, let's say the offensive lineman did a great job. He got there. Revel didn't have nobody blocking him. Let's think about that. Nobody blocking him. But nobody, we so enamored to blame Murray. I heard people say, and I'm not saying Murray was perfect, but so many people say, and I've said this, I said this 1,000 times. Back end is a collection of players. Corners, safeties force it into linebackers, linebackers force it into safeties. If they're both playing aggressive, they cut down the field for other guys. If one is not playing aggressive, it makes it too much area for the other one cover. And our safeties are horrible. And when we do get a new defensive coordinator, the first thing he's gonna change, and I can guarantee you this, I'll put everything that I got in my life. The first thing, if you get a new defensive coordinator, the first thing he's gonna change, he's gonna upgrade your safeties. And he's gonna change the mentality of your cornerbacks to say, hey, we can't allow guys to run untouched. And we have no safety or no corner to put their hand on the guy. And we talking about the linebacker. So who was on the third level? Where were they? The linebacker second level. Who the third level is? When we talk about the linebacker got blocked, how did the safeties get blocked in? At least I can say the linebacker got blocked by a bigger guy. That's big on little. You think the safeties got blocked by receivers? And that's not an excuse about him being there. That's just a non-aggressive. That got nothing to do with the knee. See, that's where we always come up with excuses. And Revel knows he's been playing football long enough. He understands. Receiver goes inside. This is what he been, and I'm quite sure he been learning this since day one. He learned this since day one. And see, I don't give you. See, this is where I don't give excuses, rookie or not. If it's a technique that you've been taught since day one, since you've been playing football, this is one-on-one. Receiver cross your face, go inside. You don't stand there and stay outside. You close the gap. You see the play. Instead of trying to tackle the play head on and go in there and go wide open, you try to tackle it from the side, and the guy run by you because he's going 100 miles an hour. And if you're unblocked and you don't touch the guy, you put everybody else in an uncompromising position. That's why defense is so many players. That's why it's such a team sport. If you go unblocked and it's run your way and you have a chance to make a tackle, and if you don't even touch a guy, you have put everybody else in a vulnerable situation. Because now we playing what? 11 on 10. Because check this out. You run that play, receiver try to goes in there to block the safety, and you that bad corner, and you attack it, and you bust that running back up in that hole at a 5 or a 4-yard gain. Guess what? The next time they're gonna run it, that receiver gonna block you, and guess who's gonna be free then? The safety. And if the safety press it, it'll bring it back to the linebacker. Now the linebacker ain't got that much ground to cover. But if you ain't got nobody pressing it, the linebacker ain't gonna do you no good. I wish I could have told you, man. Uh, listen, when you start seeing Debo Samuels running, and you watching everybody's game plan against us, they throwing these short screen passes. We listen, people throw more screen passes against us than any other team in the league. We at least get about 10 screen passes thrown against us every week. Y'all don't notice that? Do y'all notice that? Why? Because they say we're not going to rally on the outside. We're not going to tackle. And we're not real athletic on the outside. Our safeties are slow and not athletic. And I don't care what people say. Wilson, I love him to death. But Wilson missed too many plays. He can't really cover. And his body can't really hold up if he taking big shots. And that's just the point blank, man. And Hooker is done, man. And Hooker, he'll take less money. He'll take $2 million to stay in Dallas. And listen here, when you start having a player that say he'll take $2 million or he'll take below starting safety money or starting linebacker money to stay in Dallas, i.e. LVE, people talk about he signed with the Cow. LVE was signing with the Cowboys below the market that a starting linebacker would get in the NFL to stay in Dallas. Why? Because they knew nobody else out there was gonna give him that money because everybody else saw what I saw. Everybody else trying to act like they didn't see it. Everybody saw a guy that wasn't physical, that wasn't going to attack the ball, so they would take less money because they'll stay in Dallas because nobody's gonna call them out on it. That's disappointing blank. So when I hear players say, "Oh, I'll take less money to stay in Dallas," what that tells me about the player is the player don't believe in his skill set. When they start taking butt naked less money to stay in Dallas, that tells me the guy ain't his skill set ain't good. And we talk about saying Jeff Heath was one of the guys. Jeff Heath stayed in Dallas every time, signed for $1.22 million, and he started. That when he started safety money, nowhere close. And he stayed in Dallas for 2 or 3 years at 1.2 million. And everybody thought the Cowboys gave him a big contract. No, they wasn't. He was staying because he knew he couldn't go no place else to play. And he left Dallas, and guess what? Out the league. Let me tell you who don't do that. Mr. Just, let me tell you who don't do that. Let me tell you who didn't do that. Jay Lou didn't do that. No. This talking about players. This talking about players that don't listen. If a guy say he gonna take less, they're talking about to stay in Dallas. Now I mean, now I ain't gonna say with Pickens. Pickens may say I'm gonna take a nice salary. I may not get 35 million, but I can understand that. But when guys are taking less than premium, than average, when guys taking less than average, like Jeff Heath, like LVE. When you see what J. Lou said to the Cowboys this year, they wanted to sign him for that same money. J. Lou said, no, man. You got to pay me because I know I can play. DeMarcus Lawrence says, no, man, they wanted to sign DeMarcus Lawrence to $5 million. Mother saying, no, hell no. I'm not just, you're not going to give me a no cut rate. Now, I don't want top dollar no more, but it's got to be decent. I ain't that guy that you can give because I'm just trying to hang on. I can play. And I'm not talking about Diggs. And watch somebody take this the wrong way. But if Diggs sign a deal taking $4 or $5 million to be a corner at Dallas, then I know Diggs is about done. Because if he believe in his skills, he ain't taking that from the Cowboys. Now, he know he might not get 15, 16, but he know he can get 8, 9. So y'all gotta chill when y'all hear people say, "Oh, they sign contract." Listen, here. Malik Hooker contract is what, about $3-4 million a year? That's not starting safety money. That's not top safety money. He did it because he wanted to stay in Dallas. He knew he couldn't go no place else. Ain't nobody else gonna look at film at Malik Hooker and sign Malik Hooker. I can tell you that right now. If they do, either he gonna have to change his game or he won't be in the NFL long. He makes no plays for you. And people want to say that I'm talking about him, but he don't. He done went a whole year. What play he done made? Interception with the ball thrown right to him. We talking about cover two that he's not getting over the top. He ain't fast enough to get over the top. So when Diggs don't give him the right room or bring it back into him, he lost. We put Marquise Bell back there. Marquise is slow. He don't intact. Know why? I say it again. When you allow a guy back there to play it and get maximum playing time, and they play it soft, they play it without making any plays, they play it without attacking the ball. If you the backup, that's what you think is supposed to be done. And you set a culture for this to happen. Now nobody's gonna agree with me. They're gonna say coach ranting about nothing. But I tell you, go every game, watch the film, and go watch other teams and see how they attack and how their safeties and corners attack the football. And you tell me, does that look the same? And if you can tell me that look the same, then I'll say, if you can show it to me, then we'll look at that and say, okay. But I don't see it. I see a totally different. And I go back to say it again. Let's get a little bit more physical in the back end, and let's see how that works. Physical and athletic, and let's see how that works. Because I'll take the guys up front. Clowney, Clark, Quentin Williams, Osa. Oh, I'll take those guys up front. Dante Fowler. I don't know about Sam Williams. Houston. I'll take these guys up front. They stay healthy. They go at it. Now, they got some times where they be running around blocks because they get a little bit get beside themselves, but I can lock in on them. We making need to work on with Overshawn and some of the other guys, linebackers. Yeah, but this secondary, we got to hit the hit sticks. I need some guys with hit sticks. I need to be physical back on that back end. I need teams to say, man, we can't play the short game because they coming up and they coming and busting that because everybody playing short. We gonna see it again next week. And Schottenheimer again. Yeah, Bell is slow, man. And Schottenheimer again. Let me tell you, Schottenheimer, first downs is killing us on this offense. If you got to be a lot less aggressive, but more positive on first down, you're gonna make this great quarterback you got even greater. And you're gonna make these receivers even more dangerous if you start dominating first down. And if you're gonna throw the ball, make completions. 85%. Tell your quarterback, hey, I want positive yards. If I give you a play action pass on first down, I want positive yards. I do not want negative yards. We got to stay in front of the sticks. If this offense stays in front of the sticks, we'll make the Giants pay. Any team will make them pay. But when we get behind the sticks, we put more pressure on our quarterback, and eventually, what it's going to start doing is start to turn to turnovers. Now, we may not get to that point this season because we ain't got but one more game. But that's what that do. Getting behind the sticks turns into turnovers. Because when defense gets you behind the sticks, the first thing the defense coordinator start thinking on the other side of the field is, I can turn you over because now I'm going to get you pressing to get that first down. So, yes, let's think about that, man. Those are two biggest issues I saw. Concentration with our kicker. We learned our kicker is human. We learned that he's human. He's in a little, kind of a slump part, but we learned he's human. And we're pressing him to every time kick 40, 50-yard plays. I don't like this mentality we got of going on fourth down. We could because we're getting too many god dog on fourth downs. And that's because we get behind the sticks on first down. We're getting fourth downs because what we're doing on first downs. Schottenheimer, I don't know if you can hear me. Get your first down offense together. If that means you got to run the ball 65 to 70% on first down, put it in your offensive lineman's mind that we're going to get 4 to 5 yards on first down. And then we're going to set the table for Dak Prescott to do what he want to do. But we're not setting the table by messing up on first down. We're not setting the table. We're asking the quarterback to set the table. We're asking him to prepare the meal, set the table, to serve the food, and eat the food. We're asking our quarterback to do too damn much. Get our first down offense together, man. And then we can work on them. Same thing I'm gonna say about defense, and I'm about to get off this, man, because I've been on here long enough because I'm gonna go enjoy my rest of my Christmas night with my family. But you are my family. That's why I come and talk to y'all, man. Listen, people come up here, people gonna say this. I can say when I get a look at, I probably gonna see some stuff that Murray did wrong. I'm not defending Murray. I'm definitely not defending uh uh um Eagle Flus. I think Eagle Flus is listen. I think players are the cause, but I think when you have coaches that enable the players to do certain things and you just allow it, I think that becomes a problem. I'm gonna say that again. When you as a coach, and this is where I got a problem, and I'm not talking about scheme. But when you have a system and you said, this is what I believe in, and you allow guys to go out there and I can watch it on film that they don't do your core values, and you run them out there and you put them in place to play, you're setting the tone for everybody that comes after them that says that's what they can do and get away with it. And what is now, you got a soft asshole back in now. Because if you didn't allow it, it's just like raising kids, people. If you don't allow it to happen at the beginning and you nip that junk in the bud early, evidently you will stop it from spreading to the rest of the family. But if you allow it and keep on allowing it and keep on allowing it, it spreads like cancer. And now you can't straighten it out until next season. And you got to come in from this jump street. Say, hey, films, so they say, this is when we going to play. We're not going to have that. Now, listen here. 5 seconds on Dak Prescott. If you look at 4 or 5 of the sacks on Dak Prescott, the ball not getting out. These 3 of those sacks, the ball ain't getting out. That's not on the line. That's when you run. Okay, let me put it like this: when you run a play action pass, and 3 of the sacks came on play action passes. When you do a hard run play action pass, that ball got to get out of there because it's not straight drop back pass sets. You're coming out on aggressive blocks on these guys. So when you do aggressive blocks, it's hard to hold those guys because you're not setting up on them. You find out on them. And a couple of them was waggle passes. When you blocking them a certain way, they're working up the field. And when Dak comes out and rolls out, and he don't get, it's no way to go at the ball. And if you got to hold it more than 2 seconds on a play action pass, he got to run or throw it away, or most times he gonna get sacked. And 3 of those sacks was on them type of plays. Hard play action passes. We have to understand you got 2 types of passes. You got play action, then you got what we call hard play action. That when he comes out and you see it look like a run action. The pass ball look like run action. They're firing out on guys. They're probably blocking them going one way. And if you don't get rid of the ball and hold the ball more than 4 seconds, most times they're gonna turn. And it was none of the sacks was what we call direct lane running, and Dak ain't had no time to throw the ball. And a lot of those are cover sacks because there wasn't nowhere to go with the ball. So we have to look at things in context. Because if it's more than 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then he gets sacked, that's coverage. Because guys gonna work their way over. That's just how it works. And for as many times he threw the ball and getting sacked on those play action passes, you could expect that. And again, let me tell you something else why you get 5 sacks. Because you're behind the sticks on what? First down. Then you run and play action passes on first down with 1 wide receiver en route, 2 wide receivers en route. Then Dak got to hold the ball, and then they get to him behind the line of scrimmage because it's a hard play action. Man, these are what I'm talking about when you say that. Some of these things is come from play calling, making it harder on your offensive line and your quarterback. I'm not saying he's totally bad, but get his first downs together, and we'll be all right with the sacks. Because play action will be even better. Play action is better after second down. If you get 5 yards on first down, play action is better. Sometimes you run it again on second down. Play action is better off second down. You want to get to the point where you can start running play action off third down because they know you can get 2 or 3 yards. So, but great comment about the sacks. I wanted to talk about that because when I was watching the game, I was like, man, 2 or 3 of these sacks. Look at it. He holding the ball. And that's not on Dak. It was nowhere to go with the ball. Because when you run a hard play action pass, if they're not fooled by it, most times you just got under routes. You got small routes. So it's not a whole lot of people in the routes. And when they go out and they ain't been fooled by it, now you holding the ball. That's what I'm saying about with Schottenheimer. If you're going to run a play action pass on the first down, you must give Dak a outlet to drop the ball off as an outlet that he's going to at least get 3 or 4 yards. Or you need to tell Dak to say, hey, tuck it and run for 4 or 5 yards and get down, because we want to continue to get positive plays. Stay in front of the sticks. Do not eat the ball. Do not sit back there and get sacks, and do not try to force it into tight windows and end up throwing an interception. So sorry for my passion. So I've been talking so loud, but listen, hey, you are my family. I love for y'all to come in. I love the comments y'all been making. I love for y'all come in, man. Y'all are really, really Cowboy fans. Yeah, Koye is my man. Somebody mentioned say you like me in the Koye. I can't get in touch with Koye no more. I try to give him a holler, man, because I guess they say Coach Marv, man, he might not know what he talking about, this and that. He's not in that. Whenever, like I said, we could talk about coverage, we could talk about scheme, we could talk about all that. We could talk about scheme. But as I tell you, when the first time you watch a film, and I tell this anybody, and they want to talk about it, we can talk about it. First, you got to find effort and want to. And if the effort and want to is not there, then whatever scheme you run is not going to work. And every defense, whether bend or don't break, aggressive style defense, whatever defense you want, there is certain core values that every defense or a defense should have. And if one of the core values, if you're playing defense in Pop Warner, Little League, middle school, high school, semi-pro, college, Division I, Division II, NIA, whatever division you want to play in, the first core value of defense is to be physical. I have never seen a defense that say they're going to win with finesse. And if your defense is considered not being physical, you already at a loss. If the other team look at you by their play calling and they're saying that you're not a physical defense, you're already at a loss, because now they're at a heightened level of confidence when they run plays against you. It makes guys sorry that they ain't never played league, because now they feel that they can get some over on you because they feel that they got the physical ability to do it. So I would still say again, let's play a little bit more physical on the back end. Let's see how that work out first. Let's get a little bit more athletic, because we don't have the speed on the back end. Let's get more athletic and physical on the back end, and let's see how it works. And Schottenheimer, get your first down offense in tech. I want to see us go against the Giants and execute on first down. Now, if Schottenheimer says something this week about first down offense, y'all say, I want y'all to put it in Twitter and everything else. Say Coach Marv came on Christmas night and talked about that. Got to be better on first down. That's the key. And I give credit due. Lou Tates did a show. Go back in his catalog. He did a take about first down execution, and was one of the better shows that he done. And he was right. First down is the most important down of football, defensively and offensively. It sets the tone for everything. It makes third down much easier. It sets the whole tone, and it keeps the advantage in the defense, or it keeps it in the offense of hands. But as I said, thank y'all so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Uh, I didn't put this out here, but I'm gonna put this up here because I always put it up here. But like, comment, and subscribe. Like, subscribe. If you got, and one thing here, let me put this other one up here. There's a to-do list for you as a Cowboy fan or a person on this show. Your to-do list is to like first, subscribe. I want to get those likes up, the big likes. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and then I want you to enjoy the content. I want you to share the content. I want you to share, and we got a victory. I'm not upset about having a victory. I'm loving the victory. I did not want to lose to the Washington team. I never want to lose to the Giants. Again, we may finish this year 4-1 in our division. We're losing one game at the beginning of the season against the Eagles, but we came back and revenged that loss. We got 2 victories against the Washington team, and we're going for 2 victories against the Giants team, and our 18th straight game against the Giants. That's important to me. And so, yes, we want to finish this season strong. We got 10 days off to come back and try to finish this season strong. And hopefully we can finish this season strong. But let's get those things fixed and finish. And players, please get your mind on your work. Get your mind on the work. And Cowboy content creators, let's look at this. Stop, we want to do this. Let's really look into some things that we really need to do. No, we ain't no need to play Milton. Don't worry about his snaps. It's about winning games. We are not a team that don't need to learn how to win. See, bougie teams say, "Oh, well, it's over. We can do nothing. It's meaningless." It's not meaningless. We're a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in 2 years. We got to come out the mud. Put the Giants away, and then he can play. Well, and we got all off season for him to get himself together. Let's go out here and win a football game. And let's get better as our first unit. And that's all about thinking too highly of yourself. That's for teams that's out the playoffs, that had made major runs in the playoffs, and they had a down season, and they done went to championships. They understand how to get to championships. They've been in the playoffs every year. They don't play the NFC championship games, or they don't play the Super Bowls, and they say, "Well, we want no." So that's not for teams that ain't made the playoffs in 2 years. That's not for teams that ain't made three rounds in the playoffs and I don't know when. That ain't for those type teams. We got to get better. And I'm glad that they went out there and tried to get better today. But like I said, if you want to support the channel, thank you for the comment though. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not trying to be combative with you. I'm just saying that we got to continue to go out there and win. And I appreciate you, man. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, my baby, my love, she already put the cash app out there. If you want to support the channel, please support the channel by my cash app here, PBS 222. It'd be greatly for us to get, because we're trying to get some more sound systems, and we try to get somewhere we have a background. I'm trying to get my intro. I got some email keeps emailing me on Twitter, and I'm gonna get with her, and she's gonna make me a new background, and we gotta pay for that background, and we gotta pay for some other things that we're gonna try to get to, and we're gonna pay for a new intro to come in, because we're gonna get a little bit more spiffy. And again, remember, I'm gonna be doing some live screens for the playoffs. I'm gonna be doing some watch parties for the playoffs, because we're gonna learn and we're gonna watch together about what good football teams do and why they're in the playoffs. And we're going to learn from them. And some of the same points I've been pointing out, we're going to see some of those same points, and I can be able to point that out with how championships and how playoff teams grinding to got there. And that's where we should copy. But until then, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, and we're going to move into this new year, but be responsible, be safe, and enjoy your family the day after Christmas, the next day. And remember, like I said, Cowboy players, Cowboy with a great job. Keep your mind on your work. And as I will always finish my show and say that we're going to be bringing T-shirts out there. Remember this: nothing, nobody, or nothing can stop God's will. Nobody or nothing can stop God's will. Until next time.